Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum students. Welcome to the week 15 our video session that is about specifically recommendation report. Students, as you know, this one is about our second week, you can say second last week सेशन एंड इसके अंदर हम बेसिकली रिकमेंडेशन रिपोर्ट लास्ट में हमने प्रोग्रेस रिपोर्ट के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से देखा, तो नेक्स्ट स्लाइड में हम देखेंगे इसमें हम रिकमेंडेशन रिपोर्ट के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से गो थ्रू होंगे. Now, first of all, we have to see what are the learning objectives that we have to see. What is recommendation report? And these are the, you can say, different contents right now that we have to cover. What is the recommendation report? Then another thing is about structure of the recommendation report. This is what we have to discuss. Then format and types of the recommendation report and recommendation and proposal report and referencing style. So these are the learning objectives that we have to cover in this session. Okay, now what is progress report? Now, what is progress report? When we are talking about progress report, this one is about week 15 that we have to cover right now, and this one is about last week summary. If someone is left over with the last week, so I just want to recall. It's about progress report, structure of progress report, types of progress report, functions and content, time format and all that. This is what we have discussed in the last session. Now, what is recommendation report? This is what right now we have to discuss. स्टूडेंट्स जनरली अगर देखा जाए तो रिकमेंडेशन रिपोर्ट का आपको मैं स्टार्ट में भी बताया हुआ था. जनरली एवरी सेकेंड रिपोर्ट इज अबाउट रिकमेंडेशन रिपोर्ट. 95 to 98% reports are your recommendation report. Your proposal is your recommendation report, even though you can say progress report is your recommendation report. Any type of report in which you are giving some instructions or you are recommending something, that can be the recommendation report. So now let's start with the definition of recommendation report. साथ साथ हम इसके concept के point of view से discussion करते जाएंगे. Report, generally when we are talking about report, so report is any piece of writing that is known as report. Report is the term used for a group of document that inform, analyze, or recommend. So generally what we have to do is to inform, analyze, or recommend something that is known as report. We will categorize formal reports into informational reports, analytical reports, and recommendation reports. Generally, when we are talking about reports, so there are different types of reports, and there is no limit of the types of the report. Generally, यहाँ पे हमने different categories इसकी describe की हैं. Informational reports होती हैं हमारे पास, analytical reports होती हैं या recommendation reports होती हैं. Even though informational भी आपकी recommendation होती है, analytical भी आप एनालाइज करते हो, सोल्यूशन देते हो एंड ऑल दैट, अगेन यू आर रिकमेंडिंग समथिंग, तो आपकी रिकमेंडेशन रिपोर्ट होती है. Next one is about specific definition. You can say recommendation report, we have to analyze a problem, determine the best solution, and then recommend the best solution. So first of all, we have to analyze any problem, like statement of problem आप define करते हो. Then you have to find out the solutions are alternative, and then you have to find out which one is the best solution. That is the appropriate, that is the recommended solution. So if any present the data, draw the conclusion from the data and make recommendation based on the data and conclusion. So it's the general brief definition of the recommendation report. Now let's move onwards, students. Recommendations solve the problem or provide answers to questions asked in the report. So generally, for what reason and purpose recommendation can be used to solve the problem or provide the answer to the question asked in the report. Have recommended course of action based on your conclusion. All suggestion must be in line with them. So in this, you have to recommend the course of action that you have to take on the basis of your conclusion or recommendation that you have proposed. So each recommendation is a separate point or a paragraph. Definitely, whenever you are recommending something, you are giving the instructions. Okay, fine, ऐसे भी करें, ये भी करें, ये भी करें, ये भी करें. So that is itself a separate point. It's a separate instruction. So recommendation should follow a descending order of the importance. arrangement are in conclusion. So generally it's in the descending order. The tenses of verb in the conclusion and recommendation section vary depending on whether you are writing about completed action, general principles, or possible explanation. So as per the requirement, you have to make the tense for the, you can say, for writing the recommendation or recommendation report. Okay, students, next one is a recommendation report. How I can write out or how I can begin my recommendation report. Define your problem first of all, then brainstorming solution, then devise the criteria, make the standards or criteria. So first of all, what we have to do, we have to define the problem. What's the basic problem? Purpose care, problem care. Then brainstorm solution. Then you have to find out the solution. You have to find out brainstorm karna. Just you have to sit together and you want to find out the solution regarding anything. So devise the criteria. Then you have to find out the criteria and on the basis of set of standards and criteria, then you have to find out the best solution. So you may use secondary sources to add the credibility to use the definition. Your solutions and the criteria that you used. So recommendation report के अंदर definitely we have to find out the problem first of all, students. And then we have to go toward the brainstorming. हम brainstorming करते हैं solution के लिए. We want to find out the solution. Definitely problem का पता होगा तो then we can go for the solution. Sorry, then you have to devise the criteria, you have to form the criteria and so on. And on the basis of criteria, then you have to find out the, you can say, you can recommend something, you can recommend the solution. Definitely in recommendation report, you are recommending something that this one is the problem and this is how you can solve it. So that is known as recommendation report. सो उसके अंदर डेफिनेटली आपको प्रॉब्लम क्लियर होनी चाहिए. प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से आपके पास ब्रेन स्टॉर्मिंग सेशन होना चाहिए to how to get the best solution and so on, and then you have to advertise and so on. So generally ये आपका क्या आ जाता है recommendation report का session. So this one is about our first session for week 15. remaining हम next session के अंदर cover करते हैं. Thank you students.